Cause you didn't say what you was gonna say. You was holding back.
Exactly.
What? Yeah, waiting on you, host. With the host.
We think this is a free speaking environment, a no judgment zone.
That is correct.
You are withholding.
Yes, sir. Answer.
All I was
Welcome
saying,
to the Off on the Tangent podcast.
all I was saying is that's something that you say to an ugly friend or like an ugly child.
That they're natural beauty?
Yeah.
No, you don't. I tell all my friends they're beautiful. I tell all my friends they're beautiful, and they are pretty.
They have a nice personality too, right?
Yeah, I mean, I don't hang out with nobody that's got a bad personality. Am I missing something?
No, it's just funny because I'm
Nothing
like,
at all.
I'm trying to think about all your friends, and I'm like, no, I'm just kidding.
Right.
And my circle is small.
Oops.
I do know somebody that does do that, though, if I know what you're talking about. Mr. J. Will.
See?
That's just like saying the ugly baby is so big. Oh, he's so big.
Ain't he special?
He look just like himself.
It's such a blessing.
Right. Just precious.
Ain't that something? That child is something, ain't it?
Y'all are terrible.
Hey, no. This is stuff that you hear old heads say when they're around babies.
Right.
Yeah, you do hear it.
You know, old people can't they'll hold their tongue. They're like Dick Gregory. He just look just like himself.
Yeah.
Oh, rest in peace, Dick Gregory.
Rest in peace. Rest in power.
I am your host, Jason JWILLDOES. As you can see, already off on a tangent. We have guests. We have Southern Belle TK. We have Ellie Mae. And of course, we have this guy over here in the top left. We already know who he is. No introduction needed.
No introduction needed.
Ivan the Grizzly, the great
Chicken eater.
What's up, y'all? Chicken eater. What you call me?
The Chickinator. And we are the Off on the Tangent podcast. And we were already off on a tangent, but how has y'all's weekend been?
Hot.
Hot?
Yes.
Hot. I had a good weekend.
You had a pretty good weekend?
Had a pretty good weekend.
Me too.
Got out a little bit. Braved the COVID.
How was that?
Man, y'all some good ones.
It was cool. I went to Bosco's and they were social distancing. There was a 45-minute wait for the patio. So we just ate inside.
You could have cooked your own meal by then.
Right. So we just ate inside. No one was inside. I don't have any symptoms yet.
I was gonna say, how is it out there?
And then I went to Lafayette. Listen to some music.
Oh yeah, you was doing it. You was kicking.
Oh boy.
Did you have your mask on?
On and off.
See, man, y'all be out here playing, man.
I'm not playing. I had the hand sanitizer. I mean, you can't really eat with the mask on.
Oh yeah, that's true. That's true.
They making them now with the little flaps, so you can flip it down and put your food in.
That's just ridiculous.
Man, hey, on some real talk, that's some sex toy shit that they selling off with this. With the hole in the middle of the mouth, you like,
Only you would think about that.
Okay. What about you, Chicken King?
I
got a 36 piece.
I'm like, how many pieces of chicken does he have? I was thinking that.
You said I got a 36 piece? Okay.
I mean, the video has been going on for quite some time. And you've been like,
it was only 5 pieces of chicken, man. It was only 5 pieces. The whole
22 minutes. 22 minutes and 33 seconds.
Hey.
See? And we've only
been to get out what I'm trying to say. No, I went to my cousin's wedding where we were masked up and social distancing as well. And that was about it. And I worked and came back home. That was it.
How was the cake?
I didn't even eat any of it. I'm trying to lay off the sweets.
He had to watch his figure when he had the tight ass suit on that he had. If he ate anything, that nigga would have popped about that joint.
You had on the extra slim cut?
Yeah.
Were you in the way?
When they catch you taking a picture when you get ready to do like this, I'm like, this nigga suit might be kind of tight.
Like,
it's fine. No,
did it have the capri pants or the shorts?
No, neither one. They had the nice break. It fit perfectly. My suit was not tight. It was tailor fit, so it wasn't slouchy on me. It fit me correctly. So I have no clue what this guy is talking about, but my suit fit just fine, and I was not gonna burst out of it.
That's why he's eating like a hungry person now.
I was gonna say, I'm gonna need to see a picture. He making up for lost time.
I want to say it's on his story or something right now.
I think it is, yeah.
Yeah, it's on his story, so yeah.
I don't think I followed it.
I don't think I followed.
Wow, Ivan.
Well, I do.
Do you follow us?
Do I follow you on Facebook?
On Insta.
On Insta? No, I need to.
Let me see. I just pull up and show it on my phone real quick. Let's see if it'll come up. I'm like,
please.
I'm like, look at this guy here.
TK, what you drinking?
Yeah.
Red wine.
Oh, okay.
Is that Crown and Coke? Is that Crown and Coke in it?
No, it's not Crown and Coke.
There he is.
I can't see it.
It looks like it's all right.
Oh, that's you?
Yeah, that's me.
Don't even.
Oh, wow.
I can't really see it. I'm having a hard time seeing it.
Right.
Yeah, it was a suit, and I just wore it, and it fit fine. It wasn't tight, so.
Did you buy the suit for the wedding?
Actually, no, I bought it because I haven't bought any suits in a while, so I went ahead and got it. I just, since I had it, I was like, hey, I'm gonna wear this to the wedding. So it just came out perfect.
How often do men buy suits?
Right.
Probably
Once a year.
I would have. Nah, yeah. Well, some guys do. Yeah.
Well, for this guy, he probably but most guys, I would say once a year.
For Easter.
Yeah, whenever Easter finna get ready to come around.
Eastern Christmas.
Right.
Hey, excuse me 1 second.
Here come this guy with the Teddy Riley issues.
Hey,
You can still hear y'all.
he sure can. Just turn this video off.
So what's been going on with y'all?
Nothing much, man.
Outside of you braving the COVID out here.
Nothing much. I'm actually going on a freaking trip. I can't. Now that is some crazy shit.
Oh yeah, it's this week, right?
Yeah.
A trip?
Ooh,
I want to cancel so bad.
What trip is
that
this?
is scary.
A gender reveal for my niece.
Where y'all going to?
Charlotte, North Carolina.
My hell no. Man.
Did you decide whether you're gonna fly or drive?
We are flying.
Yeah.
And
That would
man, crazy as hell.
That would make me nervous too. I understand.
It's only going to be immediate family and the showers outside. So as long as I make it there and back safely, I feel okay.
But
Yeah.
But the niggas on the plane ain't family.
I mean, but you have to have a mask on the plane.
Are y'all flying? Is it what's airline? Delta?
American.
Okay.
I mean, it is what it is now. Y'all just say a prayer for me and us.
Will do.
Man.
Please don't let them catch the COVID.
Right. Your parents flying too?
They're not going.
Oh, okay.
They're smarter than the rest of us. They immediately said no.
Nah, we straight. We good.
They probably like, we just FaceTime us. We gonna watch it.
No, Dad was like, I already know what you're having.
I'll see it on the social media.
He doesn't even have social media. He was just hear about it. He doesn't really care. He cares, but men, I don't think get excited until the baby's actually here and like 2 years old.
Yeah, when they can play with them.
Yeah.
And tickle them and laugh. They're not attached to the breasts.
Somebody say breasts.
Oh, now he come back.
Of course he comes back for that. Titties.
Oh, maybe he thought we was talking about some chicken.
Good one. Good one.
It's on you tonight, Ivan. I'm sorry.
It's okay. It's all right.
You should have just held off a little bit longer until you finished because you were
this is a reality show, so whatever's happening while it's happening is
What's
happening.
in that cup now?
Said some chicken.
This is cola.
Just Coca-Cola?
Yeah, it's cola. It's cola.
That means cheap Coke.
Bubba Cola.
Got some big K. No, they just say pop.
Man, you trash for that.
Speaking of drinking, I was really impressed. I saw the boxes that they gave away yesterday for the BET Awards, and it was like the box had like all product from Black businesses, and so I was really impressed that they gave everybody a bottle of Uncle Nearest.
Really?
Yeah, that was excellent. Yeah, that was excellent.
I was really impressed. I was like, there you go. That's what I'm talking about. Because that Uncle Nearest is fire.
I don't think I've had it.
It sure is.
It
really is.
It's good.
It's
Did
very.
they show it in Memphis?
Yeah.
Yep.
It's better
It's
than
way
Jack.
better than Jack. Way better than Jack.
Yeah, it sure is. Yep.
Years. Is that the man they stole the recipe from?
Yes.
Yes. Yep.
So I guess is this a black company, Uncle Nearest? I guess they're Black owned.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's who. That's who Jack Daniels learned how to distill from was Nearest.
I like
Ring.
that.
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind going up to Nashville. Is it Nashville that they're making it out of? I wouldn't mind going up there and touring the facilities and doing the tasting. That'd be a great field trip.
And he was like, "Hey, that ain't even my best recipe, nigga. Shit, let's get this Uncle Nearest, nigga."
It's good stuff.
It is. It's smooth.
It is great.
It should be.
Cause they got that, and they got a age joint now, right?
Yeah, I'm actually looking it up now. I was about to hold up, I'm about to find it.
They have a what now?
Yeah, it's 1856. Uncle Nearest 1856 premium aged whiskey.
Yes.
Yeah.
I like that.
This nigga over here drinking pop though.
Well, that's what I say it is.
Oh.
You know what? It sure is it's probably say pop and then it just say cola in little letters at the top of the bubble.
On a budget.
Hey, the reason why I'm laughing because I know. That's how I know.
Yeah, because you probably purchased the same kind.
I don't drink the high fructose corn syrup drinks. So
yeah, that's right. That's right.
No.
You eat grass all day.
I would never.
But no, for real, groceries done went up.
They have, haven't they?
Yes. All I drink is water.
And I ain't talking about like a couple of cents. Like stuff done went up like a whole double, like the same price. Be like that was $1 last week. Now it's $2. Y'all killing me.
My sister bought a 3-pound pack of ground beef. This is how expensive it was. It did not even have a price on it.
What?
What?
It did not even have a price on it. It just had like the expiration sticker, the barcode, the percentage of lean to fat to lean, and the lady checked it out, and she was almost wanted to take it back once she realized it was like $17.
What?
$17 for 3 pounds of ground beef.
That's ridiculous.
And y'all still paying for it.
Yeah.
I mean, some of us need some meat in our lives, so.
I need clarity.
Man cannot live on bread alone.
Oh, I'm tickled.
And then she sips wine afterwards.
Hey man, that might be an alley.
Mm-hmm.
What?
What?
No. What did you say?
Huh?
Okay,
Are you trying to send me to an alley?
Oh my goodness, no. I said, hey man, that might be an alley.
Yeah.
A slam dunk. Hey.
This
Anyway,
is getting
What you was,
moving
yeah.
on.
yes. So, Jason, what are we talking about tonight, sir?
I was gonna let you go. I mean, it's been kind of quiet actually as far as news go.
Hey,
Yeah,
I think the news cycle is
it's been slow
kind of
this
weird
week.
again. Yeah, because after a while, I mean, it's
I
only
mean,
so much you can talk about.
unless we talking about the COVID.
Yeah, but I'm saying it's only so much COVID stuff you can really talk about. Like
What
the
about the
cases have
fact that,
gone up.
yeah, the CDC now says that the U.S. has way too many virus cases to even control the pandemic. So it's no longer controllable in the United States.
Which would mean they're gonna end up doing what Trump was talking about: just stop testing people.
Just
so the cases won't go up any further, right?
Right.
Right.
We'll just quit testing people.
that's crazy.
Do you? I'm like, go ahead.
Oh, I don't think anybody knows what's going on.
No.
CDC, the government, like nobody, they don't know. And they're only working off of limited information, right? And so you got this small window, right? This very small window. And inside this, I say on a timeline, maybe, you got this small snapshot in time with very little information to base these decisions off of. And everything everybody is saying is that, okay, let's do this so we flatten the curve, right? And then we do it, and they said we'll continue to do it until we go to this next phase. And we go to this next phase, and then cases go up, right? So then we say we'll stay in this phase. Cases are still going up because people are still going out, right? People are still exposing themselves to other folks and so forth and so on. Then you have a state like Florida who just doesn't care at all, and they spike, and they just lose it and just whatever. So to me, I think also, I won't say the only focus. I think they also need to talk about how many people are actually becoming gravely ill and passing away from this in this period of time. I know they talked about it and said it, but like right now, when they say the cases have spiked over 9,000 cases or something like that, how many of those 9,000 people are really in trouble from, like basically they might die from it? Is it all 9,000? Is it 3,000? Is it 300? Is it two? Like, what is the probability? Because until people start seeing or hearing that they could die from it, like actually die and see numbers, like high numbers of death, that's what gets people's attention. And I don't think folks really realize that. Saying that the numbers are going up is not really getting anybody's attention because they're like, look, man, this thing is just like the flu or just like the common cold. Any and everybody can get it at any point in time. That's our mentality, right? Any and everybody can get it. Like, no matter what you do, you still get it. So that's why people are just like, okay, well, you know what? I may get it. I may not get it. I'm just going to go out and live anyway because, hey, what's going to happen? So they need to start saying, hey, you could die from this. These many people have died, right? Regardless of what's going on, American people are going to do what they want to do because that's what America does. That's what we've always done. We've always broke the rules. We've always went against the grain.
That's the dumbest shit ever right there. That last part.
I mean,
it
may be, but that's how the country started. Kind of how the country started. Maybe we need to take a history lesson, but it's pretty much what Americans do over time, bro. Like, all
that shows us we are undisciplined as hell. Everybody else is coming up out of their phases.
I'm trying to figure out why.
But we about here
surprised.
Man,
actually,
that's
they're
crazy.
not, dude. They're not. That's the problem.
We went
It's
back
not
to
been
phase
contained.
1. We went back to phase 1, my nigga.
Dude, nobody knows. Did you not hear what I said? We're getting information that's telling us. Do you remember when they just said, "Oh, this is the way we fix it is washing our hands," right? That didn't fix it. Oh, so we stay at home. So we stayed at home, right? Then they say we're going to this next phase. Like, I mean, you got to think about it. Like, the people that are giving us the information don't know. You know what I'm saying? So the next response from people is going to just basically say, well, they don't know, so we just gonna go do what we want to do, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
it is kind of a guessing
people are.
game.
Yeah.
It's a
So
big guessing game.
I'm not saying it's right or wrong. I'm just saying the response of Americans have always been like, hey, you know, basically, I'm American. I can do what I want to. We talked about that before. American arrogance.
Yeah.
Like, Americans are gonna do what they want to do, regardless of what anybody says. Like, and then here's the other thing. No, it's crazy, but think about this though. What did they just say last week? They said that with everybody protesting, thousands and hundreds of thousands of people in the streets protesting, the numbers did not go up.
Yeah.
Isn't that kind of
It's very odd.
that's very odd. That's very, very odd. You had hundreds of thousands of people protesting in this country, not talking about all over the world, and then they come back and say, well, that didn't push the numbers up. So
It was
what are we?
Memorial Day weekend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what exactly are they going off of? Because it's very confusing to say that you got these many people in close proximity, man, protesting, sweating, upset, like, and we're here for it, but that didn't spike the numbers. But the numbers are spiked because people start going to the beach. Something's odd about that. You know what I'm saying? Like, something's very odd. And I'm not telling people to go to the beach. I'm just saying it's something very odd about that.
So would you go ahead?
I was say they finally closed the beaches again.
Yeah, because Floridians are crazy.
Yeah.
But
So
I
you think they just trying to scare us?
I just think, man, that I don't want to say that because, again, I'm not a healthcare professional. I'm just saying it's very odd that you had, even in Memphis a couple weeks ago, last week, you know, you had people in the streets protesting, and that part of being in close proximity, there was no social distancing in the there's no social distancing in the protest, and that didn't shoot numbers up. Like, why would it be different if people are going out to regular everyday places? And I'm not telling anybody to do it. I'm saying I'm not understanding why the numbers did not go up during the protest when you had literally hundreds of thousands of people in the streets every day, and they're still going on, and that's not shooting the numbers up. I'm confused why that wouldn't be a reason why the numbers will be going up, but going to the movies or going to a bar or going to church or wherever does. It's just kind of conflicting in a way to me.
Everything is conflicting as hell. It's conflicting as hell. So it's like, what do you do? And then you gotta have all this rain, mosquitoes coming out, all of this.
Yep.
So yeah, I get it, but I ain't gotta like it. I'm just glad I'm already cool with being in the comfort of my home. That's all I can say.
Yeah, you're a hermit anyway, so it doesn't matter.
That's why I don't care about my hair getting big. When next time next time you see me when the outside come open, it's gonna be this big orange fro.
No, sir, don't do that. You should care about it. Like, go ahead and cut that as soon as possible.
Just let Ellie Mae cut it.
What is she gonna cut it with, though? What is she gonna cut that with, TK? You said
the coochie clippers.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure she's gonna sniff those before she uses them.
Right. No. Like, hey,
What else would it-
hey, you know the clippers come by your face anyway. Like, oh, hey.
No, that man would be like, brown sugar.
Hey,
Oh,
hey.
y'all crazy. Go on, clip my mustache while you eat it.
Right, basically. That was exactly what I was about to say.
You know, trim up that mustache. Get around my nose real
I plead the fifth.
So I have a question. Go
ahead.
So, and I'll start into my rant here. So, ladies, do you know what ghosting is?
Yeah.
So I would like for TK and Ellie Mae to each give your definition of ghosting.
Is this like, are you referring, is this like Patrick Swayze ghost or?
No.
No.
The
No,
rudest kind of
no.
ghost ever.
Yeah.
It's somebody
Yeah.
that just disappears. They can't find them on social media. They block you on social media. They block your number. Or they just stop calling. Or stop answering the phone.
This nigga,
Like,
his expressions is ridiculous.
I mean, why? I mean, that's what ghosting is. I don't know if anyone's ever extremely ghosted me, but I have been ghosted on the phone.
Gotcha.
I mean, and after I realized that they were ghosting me on the phone, I didn't go digging around looking for their social media and all that. I'm like,
right.
It's not even worth my time.
That time, yeah. That's a good answer. Ellie Mae, what about you?
Yeah, I think it's when somebody cuts off communication. But I also think ghosting can be it could be for like a day or two or a couple hours. And it's like, I sent you that text message like 2 days ago. You just replied. Or, you know, you can be ghosted for a duration of time. It could be like an hour. I mean, not an hour. I mean, because that's crazy, but maybe like, you know.
I was about to say
a day or two. A day or two. It's like, what?
A nigga might be taking a nap.
Not for 2 days. At some point, you got to wake up and go to the restaurant.
And say you taking a nap. It's okay to be like, hey, I'm finna take a nap.
Aha! You just hit on something, and I will in just a moment. Were you done? Ellie, I don't want to cut you off. Okay, so Jay, you agree with those definitions?
Yeah. Pretty much. Okay. Yeah.
Is there any other variation? Like, go ahead.
What you mean? You say any other variation? Like what?
Yeah, like would there be any other variations? Like when it comes to ghosting, does it matter who does it? Like, is it really ghosting if it's somebody you just met, or is it ghosting if it's somebody you've been talking to for
a while?
Now,
when it's somebody you've been talking to for a long time, but if you met somebody and you think y'all vibing, and then all of a sudden you like, fuck. I mean,
they don't really ghosting. They don't really ghosting in that situation. If we just met, it's just pretty much okay. She wasn't feeling me. Okay.
But maybe I was. I don't know. You didn't really give us a chance to see how it was gonna go.
Right.
Well, no, I'm saying I'm saying if I'm ghosted, I just be like, I understand that. All right, I understand why she ain't calling me back.
How you understand it?
Yeah.
If it's somebody that I just met we kick it for a minute and
Kick it like actually go out.
Yeah, like if we go out like once or twice or something like that, and next thing you know, I'm ghosted. I'm like, okay, all right, either I feel like I'm a realist. It's either one or two things. Either I ain't her type, or she got back with her nigga.
Yeah. Or she met somebody else that she likes better.
Right.
But in the moment,
trust and believe I wasn't the first option. So it's like, I don't mean like the first option, but it's like you have other options on the table. It's just like applying for a new job. You applied for 6 applications. Shit, you went on 6 interviews. Which one of them niggas is like, okay, all right, this the one job I want. Okay. You went on 2 interviews with me. I ain't feeling this nigga right here. His forehead too big. He wear big glasses. Nah. I want this other dude. So I understand the ghost. Now if it's for what?
No, go ahead. I want you to say this next part. I know what you're gonna say. Go ahead. Now,
if it's been for a while and you ghost, it's like, of course you're gonna feel some kind of way. Like, hello. It's gonna be like,
what happened?
You gonna feel some kind of way. As I seen in your post a couple of days ago, I might slide down the wall real slow.
No, go ahead.
No, I was just thinking if it's someone that I've known for a while and then they just up and ghost, then I'm probably going to retaliate by ghosting back. And once I ghost back, that's it. I'm not coming back.
But how can you ghost someone who's already ghosted you? They don't really even know that you're ghosting them now because they're ghosted.
Right. Yeah, they do, because they at some point they're going to realize, oh, she stopped calling me.
Right.
But they're ghosting.
They're stop reaching out. They still see your communication. They still see your attempts to reach them. And then when all that just stops, they're gonna be like, "Oh."
When there's no messages, there's no text, there's nothing. Yeah. They're gonna be like,
"Right."
I think that's just a response to somebody not communicating with you. I think that's just get to the point where you like, hey, I'm not hearing from them, so you just let it go. The reason why I asked that question was because I hear people talking about it, and I see this a lot on social media about ghosting and the whole. It's really a conversation about communication. It's really what it is. Like, it's not even really about the ghosting. It's really about communication. And it was something I said to a friend of mine a couple of days ago. I said that communicating is the easiest thing to do, and it's also the hardest thing to do, depending on the individuals. Some people communicate and they can just say what's on their mind and be like, hey, I like this, I don't like this. And I think to Jay's point, what he mentioned about basically it's an interview process. And, somebody may be looking at the individual and be like, hey, I just want to hang out, see what you're all about. And then they decide, well, I ain't really feeling this person. And
I ain't say the right things.
Or didn't say the right things or whatever. And it's just like, hey, I'm not really vibing with it. I think a lot of the issues are simple. Hey, I had a great time, but I really ain't feeling the situation. Most people don't want to hear that kind of thing, but it probably would be a lot easier to just say that right off the bat, or either find a way to say it, or to say, hey, it was good talking to you. Maybe we'll hang out again sometime. And maybe that person can pick up on that and say, okay, I get it, right? And they can just go their way. But I think as far as like ghosting is concerned, more so when you've been communicating with a person and have gone out with that person, have hung out with that person over a period of time, and then you just up and like one day don't hear from them anymore. To me, that's really what ghosting is somebody who's been in the picture and been consistent or semi-consistent, and then all of a sudden they just poof and disappear. You feel what I'm saying? So I think like, and you all make great points. When you're kind of in the beginning process, you don't take it personal because maybe I'm just not that dude. Like, I mean, I don't feel any type of way about that because, again, it's an interview process basically. But if it's after a period of time and we've hung out and talked and had lunch and all this kind of stuff, and then, carrying on conversation, then all of a sudden, like, one day, you send a message and you don't get nothing back, and it's like,
put you on red a couple of times.
Yeah, exactly. Usually you get kind of a quick response or whatever. I think that's what really is people find really most offensive. And the person that ghosts should just say, hey, you know what? I got up today and realized, like, and like Ellie may mention, like, if you taking a nap, it's just a sign of respect. Like, you say, hey, I missed your call, I was napping. Or, hey, I'm finna take a nap, I'll holler at you later. But I think people use that as a Jay, help me out.
Do you really know that you're about to take a nap?
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
You are the only person that just falls asleep.
Narcoleptic ass.
Right. Just fall asleep. Like now.
I dated a guy like that.
What?
He would just fall asleep, literally.
I was literally
watching him.
Don't let your head go down like this no more. Because that hairline, man, your hairline behind your ears broke.
That is false, sir. That is false, sir.
No, that is yeah, it's false. Just like that hairline is false, sir. You're like, all you missing is that tattoo on the like Mikhail Gorbachev, and you would look just like him.
It's right here. It's on the other side. I can't get.
You don't know what's that? Oh
no.
So yeah,
the camera has me backwards.
Oh yeah.
This is not my right hand.
Okay.
Dude, put your head up. Like, I can't take it. Like, yeah, you taking a nap. Like, somebody know when they finna get ready to go out with another dude or something, or another chick. They be like, hey, but you don't hear from them. You don't talk to them. Like, I fell asleep. Okay, like, you know what I'm saying?
I mean, I think you kind of get to know the person, and if that's a pattern.
Oh, well, that's the other thing. Yeah,
that's a whole other topic.
You got a point. You got a point.
But it can be super frustrating.
It's super
in the beginning until you learn the pattern.
Who literally fall asleep, and I literally drove by their house a couple times, and unless there was no other cars there, their cars were home, and I guess the motherfucker was really asleep. I don't know.
Because in the beginning, like, that's very suspicious behavior.
Yeah, wow. I was suspicious at first. I don't care. I did a drive-by, yeah.
See the door that you're open, Ivan.
You almost upset.
All right. So you still, like you said, you still in the interview process, trying to see how honest and reliable you are.
Well, we were past the interview process. I was just like, what the fuck you mean you went to sleep?
So if a guy doesn't answer his phone or respond to a text and he says that he was asleep, you drive by to see why he's not responding to your calls or texts?
Not immediately.
Not in that order.
How long we've been dating, what's going on, the vibes I'm getting. But no, I don't do drive-bys anymore because I don't have gas to waste. That was back before.
It's too high.
Also, that stops you because gas is too high?
No, because you're just like, I mean, I'm fly. If he ain't feeling my flyness, his loss.
Or
it's wrong, folks.
Or this is just a simple theory. Maybe the individual is sleeping. This is just, I have no idea why that theory is out of the dark. Maybe that individual is really sleeping.
But the thing is, if we're supposed to be dating, you should want to see me. And if you know we have a date at 7 and you're inclined to like to take a nap, you need to get your nap in early.
Oh, there's something totally different. If y'all got a date plan and dude say he fell asleep now,
that warrants a drive, right?
I don't know about that.
Let's say that's different. But if a person
with your dress clothes on, waiting,
mad as hell. Yeah, you might drive by.
But if a person isn't answering your phone call or hasn't answered a text message and an hour or so has gone by, is it hard to believe that an individual could be asleep? A man or a woman? Because women get these texts off too. I was taking a nap at 12:30 in the afternoon.
I mean, I take naps.
So how is it then if you take naps, you're capable of taking naps? How is it that the next person is incapable of taking said naps?
I'm not saying that. My point is, I don't get upset if I call you at 7 and you don't call me back until 10. You could have been doing anything, whatever.
Right.
But I still think it's a little bit rude. And I'm not going to answer your calls as quickly. But if we didn't have any plans, that's fine. But if we actually had plans, that's a whole nother thing.
Oh yeah, plans is different. Plans is definitely different.
Okay,
but if this is like my partner say a loose Tuesday, if this is just on a loose Tuesday and you call and text him and he don't answer or calls back like 2 hours later, what was you doing? Oh, I was taking a nap. A side eye should not be the first response, or that would be from some other insecurity as far as that coming up. But that is not hard to believe that a person will be taking a nap. I would not question my girl if she said that she was taking a nap 2 hours past.
Well, what if she said she was cleaning the house?
Man, cleaning the house.
That's a legitimate. You ain't gonna keep your cell phone attached. You're not gonna keep your cell phone attached to you while you cleaning the house. What is this dead air? This is a question.
I agree. I mean, because I lay my cell phone down and connect it to a Bluetooth and listen to music and whatever.
Same.
Here's my thing. Here's what.
Should we all get closer to the camera? That was a fuck who?
What?
That was a fuck who?
Who what?
I told you. I said. I think it was for you, J. Will. He said, "Fuck you."
Did he say that? I missed this whole conversation.
No, I really think it was to somebody on his phone.
What is you talking about?
You looked down and you said,
I actually was looking at my phone. Something like that.
Hey, can't get nothing past us.
We don't miss a beat.
Right.
That's why
you had a whole other conversation. What you say? Fuck you. Wow, hold on.
mess with him because I called him.
She made it bang bang.
But about this house cleaning, though.
Oh my goodness.
I'm just saying. Sometimes
house cleaning. You sound like the yard lady over here. Or what about her yard though? So
I'm just saying. Saying. Sometimes you just put your phone down and you just in the zone. You trying to get these toilets clean. You trying to get these floors mopped. You trying to get vacuuming done, and you just ain't checking your phone.
Hey man, you hear that jump? Zip 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 zip.
That was true.
You hear them buzzes?
You sitting down to watch a TV show and falling asleep.
Right.
Okay. This is a really good conversation, and it brings up a good question.
It's different viewpoints.
Yeah.
I know, and this goes back to the communication piece. Should there be a conversation had about how this kind of stuff is handled, or should it be assumed that if we're not in the same space at that time and somebody calls you and you're tired of doing something, should you let them know prior to you getting started? Like, depending on your, how close y'all are, which I consider it to be, because you're not just going to do it with somebody you just met, right? Because they haven't earned the right or to keep tabs on your time, I guess. I don't want to say it like that, but
I don't know. Some people do that you just met. They do that too.
That's true.
I feel like I overshare when I do, and I need to stop. So
I do that too.
I just make a conscious effort not to say what I was doing.
Define oversharing.
But even when you overshare, sometimes that's still like overlooked. What was you doing? I just told you I was cleaning the house. I just said I'm cleaning the house.
Oh my goodness, her and this house cleaning.
I'm just saying.
I'm saying that at what point do you feel like you have to do that with somebody? Like, at what point do you feel like you have to tell them what you're doing when you're not together? What your plans are for the day when you're not together, or whatever. Like, at what point do you feel the necessity to do that and have this accountability to other people? Because my other question would be, why would you have to have that kind of accountability to somebody? Because we're adults, right? So
no, but it's rude.
It's rude to not do it, or it's rude
depending on where you are in the relationship. If we are in a relationship, a legit full-blown monogamous relationship, and I call you, or let's say I don't know that you take naps yet, whatever. I didn't know you were cutting the grass today. Because all these things generally come up in random conversation. Yeah, when I get off, I'm about to cut the grass. So I already know, he probably won't answer the phone because he's cutting the grass. But around dark time, I'm going to expect a call. Or I may call and be like, did you finish with the yard? Why are you laughing? That was my real life answer. If we are in a relationship.
Yeah, I think that's fair. Did LMA disappear?
Most of the time when you're in a relationship, you share random tidbits about your day. You're just like, I got to go out to mom and dad's house or whatever it is, the thing that's not your normal routine.
Right. Jay, what do you think about that?
Just drew a blank real quick, but I really lost my thought just that quick. I really had something profound to say.
I think, and maybe this will help Jai remember, I think that she has a great point, because once you get to be in something that's committed, monogamous, and just you guys, you two, like, something wrong, man?
No, I had a
Okay.
I had something to drink, and it was something that flew in my drink. That's all. So
Oh, stop acting like you're not gonna drink it. So yeah, I believe that there has to be a conversation had about that. Like communication, I think, is one of the biggest problems that we run into with relationships and how men and women deal with each other. I think the main thing, the main reason why people don't like to communicate because they're afraid somebody's going to say something that they don't like, or they're
it's
afraid they're going to
usually
be rejected.
which
You know
usually
what I
ends up
mean?
happening, and most times in most cases,
Right, right, right,
especially with men. Sometimes I know we just try to avoid the whole little conversation. Like, you know what, it's gonna be an
right.
argument. Nah.
Or I already know where this is going, so I'm just going to kind of ride the wave, so to speak. You know what I'm saying? And I just think that, like, at some point in time, I think we need to change that narrative to a degree, at least, and be like, "Hey, this is what I'm out here doing right now. Uh, Like, this is what you get. Like, and if you choose to hang out with me, this is what you get." You feel what I'm saying? So, I think if people were kind of transparent like that, like, it would save a lot of time. It would save a lot of whatever. But I
But
But
usually,
it
also
is.
think that.
but usually you
Go
don't
ahead.
find you don't find these pet peeves and stuff like that out until a person even does it. You know what I'm talking about? So like
Yeah, yeah,
that's the only
yeah.
time those type of conversations even come up until you see that it's a pet peeve or something like that. Or like in the case of Ellie Mae here with the house cleaning, once a nigga find out like, oh, okay, she was cleaning the house that day, all right, cool. That's it. End of subject. I ain't gonna be like, hey nigga, last time you was cleaning the house, was you really cleaning the house? Like, man, get up. Niggas ain't, hey, if niggas be on some shit like that, then
Yeah, yeah, because
Yeah.
so
that's some
outside of
controlling
that,
type
I
of stuff right
mean,
there.
once they join voice, all right, cool, bet. Okay. Cause I mean, real talk, I mean, in this, I put like this. I understand in some cases with women, and I understand in this even in this era going on now. Shit, if your friend is not, if your mama, if your sister, your brother, anybody, wife, girlfriend, whomever, are not answering the phone, you might be worried as far as why they not answering the phone. You should be. Like, hey man, hold on, this man ain't answering the phone.
Yeah.
Especially if you like, if you might have just stepped outside real quick to go check something, or you
Right.
just ran the neighborhood, or you just running around the neighborhood, or you just run to the store real quick. Any of those little movements, something can happen. You know what I'm talking about? So
Right.
it's just stuff like this. So, like I said, if a person be tripping past that day or past that
Right.
moment, once you
Right.
explain you cleaning the house, if some nigga still tripping off of that, then man, you know what, man, holler at your bitch ass, man.
Yeah.
Cause now at this point,
Yeah.
that nigga has bitch assness within him now.
Yeah. Because
That's a strong
yeah.
statement.
Because no, I would agree with that 100% because it's just unnecessary. It doesn't really show how interested he is. It just shows he's like trying to be controlling and a brat, basically. You know what I'm saying? Like
Mm.
I like it doesn't make sense to me. Like I definitely would require any lady to have to constantly check in with me or constantly bring that up after some one little thing happened. Because
Right.
obviously, like we together, so why they need to bring up something like that again? I just think that people use that type of stuff as, like you said, is like a manipulation tactic, or they use it as ammo against you. When in
Yeah.
actuality, they don't need like. I mean, everybody's kind of did their thing, before whatever. But to me, that's like a controlling, like trying to control people, and that's why I asked that, like, at what level do you really kind of let people know all of your whereabouts or whatever, just simply because, I mean, you got to get to a point, right? Because
hold on. So you saying tell a person your every whereabouts? Is that what you're getting at? Is that what you're talking about?
No, I didn't say that.
No, like
I said
I might be going to run errands. I ain't gonna be around today, or just whatever.
Yeah. Like just something like,
stepping
hey,
out for a minute. I gotta step out for a minute.
Yeah. And I think anytime people say stuff like that where they don't go into detail, the other person automatically assumes it's another person. And I think that's, I mean, you may be the exception. But
in most men's cases,
yeah. Thank you.
Yes.
In most men's cases, that's the first thing that comes out, man. Oh, you going to hang out with another dude.
If I say I'm going to run errands?
No, if you just say I'm stepping out.
No. What he is saying, in our cases, if we say, hey, I'm finna go step out and we're not going into detail, the response that we get, oh, you must be finna go hang out with another bitch, is what he's saying. In most cases, we're saying you're the exception. Y'all are the exception. In most of our cases, that will be the response. You must be finna go out and hang with some chick or something like that. And now there's an argument that it instills. Am I correct in what you're saying?
I mean, maybe
say that again.
Maybe for some chicks, but I'm just not gonna be in a relationship that has me that insecure,
uncomfortable. Yeah, like if you
if I don't trust your ass, I don't need to be with you.
Right. So I agree with that. And I mean, even vice versa. I agree with that. I don't think that nobody should have to lie. I don't think nobody should I mean, if somebody said, man, I'm finna step out, I'm gonna go, hang out with the fellas, I'm gonna go hang out or whatever. And the first thing come to mind, like, oh, you going to hang out with somebody else. Like, if that's the case, then y'all need to be together.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just saying, like, that's kind of weird to me.
That person probably needs to be with no one.
Yeah, because they ain't gonna trust.
Yeah, they don't trust.
Yep. And mainly that's based out of their own guilt anyway.
Or maybe past bad experiences. But I always try to get their own clean slate.
I do too. I'm just saying, I get tired of hearing, like, the reason why such and such did this is because they've been hurt. Or the reason why this dude did this, because I get tired of hearing that. I really do.
Like, I mean, it is
everybody been hurt, man.
It is actual. I ain't gonna really say it's just about hurt though. It's like a PTSD type of thing. It messes with you mentally when you go through that.
Everybody's not the same though.
And it still takes you to get yourself bad.
Exactly. So it gets you. It's different things for different people, but a lot of people don't get over that joint. It's a lot of people who get PTSD from relationships.
But it's a lot of it is based on their own choices too, though. Like, did nobody walk up to you and hit you in your head and throw you over their shoulder? Like, you chose to be with that person. And when I see that, it's like, okay, you chose to be with a dude or you chose to be with a lady that you didn't trust in the first place. You know what I'm saying? And then you stayed with them. And now that part is gone and you meet somebody else and now you looking at them the same way. It's like, I mean, are you going to take responsibility for your own choices of choosing like no good dudes or no good girl? Like, that's the part that I don't like get. It's one, because the thing is though, here's another thing. When people talk about red flags, okay, when we talked about ghosting, well, that first not text back, is that a red flag? Is it? I don't know. Maybe it is. Maybe it's not. Like, you see what I'm saying? Like, do you take that and factor it in to, okay, man, I ain't got time for this person, or do I trust them? Do I not trust them? Like, it's weird because
some people do though.
Yeah, and I'm saying it's so weird because you don't know. Like, for instance, okay, LMA said, "Hey, I'm gonna step out. Like, I'm going to hang out with my girls." TK says, "Hey, I'm cleaning up the house." Right? You just forget to tell them that morning. You get up and say, "Okay, I just forgot to tell so and so that I'm finna clean up." Right? And you just doing your thing. And he calls or he messages and you don't respond right away. Like, okay, big deal, right? He can say, "Oh, that's a red flag because that happened to me in my last relationship. I ain't
Right.
got time for this." You see what I'm saying? Like, it's like, why does it always have to go immediately to the extreme? Because I know for guys, a lot of times we get the short end of the stick because we're compared to some dude that like they ran into 3-4 years ago. You know what I'm saying? And we do one little thing that we don't even know we're doing and we get disqualified. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, and we get disqualified. Like, and look, we're sitting here like
what?
like what? Like, what did I do? You know what I'm saying?
I
Like,
just
what
want to play a
happened?
video game real quick.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, it's like,
I got some really good advice a couple of years ago from a person that I really respect, and the advice that I got from them was don't let your past block you from something that could be your blessing for your future.
that's good advice.
So
That's great advice. Yeah.
that was really good advice because at that particular time, like I was letting some things that had happened to me in my past, like just kind of shut down, like anything that could have, any possibility of anybody in my future. And so, like, I feel like that was really good advice. And sometimes you have to remind yourself of that because it's easy to let things that have happened to you in your past, it's easy for you to bring that into like your next relationship. But yeah, but you like, and you it's like something you have to constantly remind yourself of. Like, this person is not, that person,
Those people.
and
Right.
so yeah. So that's I would say that's definitely like some good advice that would apply probably to this situation.
That was great. That was great.
I
totally
agree.
agree with that. Yeah.
She shut the church up with that.
A show. For sure.
So TK, do you agree?
I do. I do. I said that I try to give everybody their own clean slate.
She's still gonna pull up though.
Yeah.
She's still gonna be like, oh, okay, all right, bet. His light off. He sleep.
This is supposed to be a judgment-free zone.
Right.
There's no judgment. This is all jokes, sir.
Hey, look.
Whose green car is that parked in front of your house?
Is that how we talk?
Is that what you think we sound like?
Right. Is that an impersonation of how we talk? Hold up. And for the record, yes, I am a black woman.
Oh man.
I just happen to be from the country, and I just happen to have a country accent.
That's right.
I thought your cousin drove an Impala.
What? Who? Impala? That's ain't nobody here. Ain't nobody here at all, baby. What's wrong, guy?
It's a green car parked outside your house.
You outside my house right now?
No,
My sister is.
No.
Right. My cousin drove by and she had said that she had saw such and such.
So help me understand something.
Tag
Why do
teams,
y'all
man.
ride by people's houses?
Right.
Why do y'all ride by people's houses?
What?
Why do y'all do that? Why do y'all ride by people's houses? Why do you
Well,
all
I
do
just
that?
told you. If we had plans, we're supposed to go out. You're not answering your phone. You're not answering the text. I'm sitting here in my clothes now. Yeah, I'm getting real.
Right. It's anger.
Acrimony crazy.
Right. It's
Like,
crazy.
Whoa,
It's
acrimony crazy?
I don't know about acrimony, but it's anger. I'm pissed.
Hey, notice she specified this specific type of anger. She's like acrimony crazy.
I just threw that in there for giggles for y'all.
It's one thing to get crazy, but to get Taraji P. Henson crazy, that's another level of crazy.
She identified her crazy to justify.
No, I'm just saying, it's so rude. You've wasted my time. You simply could have called and said, I'm not going to be able to make it tonight. I mean, you're a coward if you can't pick up the phone and say, I'm not going to be able to make it tonight.
That's true. I agree with that. I just
so you wasted my time.
I wouldn't go as far as saying a coward. A coward?
I mean, why else would you not answer the phone?
It is kind of cowardice.
There are many reasons why an individual
you don't want to have a conversation
not answer
about
the phone.
So you being a coward.
Okay. So let me hold on, Ivan. Hold on for 1 second, sir. Let me ask you something over here, Southern Belle. So what was the excuse that was given when you finally spoke to the individual? Or was he ghosted forever after that moment?
No, he fell asleep.
So the only excuse was that he fell asleep?
Yes.
Was that the same? Was that the same day? Was that days later, or what?
It was like he might call me at, I don't know, midnight.
No, we're speaking about this specific moment, about this date.
Yeah, about the date. So he may wake up and call me at 10 o'clock and be like, I'm sorry, I fell asleep.
Yeah, that's definitely kind of foul. Especially if you didn't
get well, I mean, I understand if you was expecting a date, but at the same time, I do understand a person going to sleep and waking up like, man, damn, I fell asleep. I must have had a long day. I mean, that is understandable. There are working individuals who have had a long day.
That got him by for a while, but my point, if you needed to go do something for someone else, you managed to stay awake.
And my point is, you know what? We all have these devices. They're called cell phones. You can set probably about 100 alarms.
Yeah. If you know you might
sleep. If you know we got plans, you better set it.
Ain't no winning this one, Jay. Ain't no winning this one. Just let it go.
You're correct. I'm just saying.
I mean, we're just giving you the latest point of view.
I'm not saying that I disagree with all of this, but what I am speaking on is saying too that there are individuals who are feeling the same way what our voicing is saying. That, man, y'all crazy.
That we are crazy?
Because there are people who have had a long day at work. They come home and like, hey man, let me just close my eyes for 15 minutes, and 15 minutes turn into 2 hours.
Okay, but if it's date day and you know you inclined to fall asleep, set your fucking alarm.
Right. Or if you're that tired, just call and say, hey, you know what? I'm super exhausted. I just need some rest. Okay, we'll do it another time.
But you don't want. I was gonna say you don't want to disappoint the individual, but you end up disappointing the individual. So
Yeah, you end up pissing them off.
right. So
the rule.
I mean,
The moral of this is don't go to sleep on date day.
You can go to sleep.
No,
don't take a nap on date night. On date night, don't take a nap.
No.
You better be in this job wide awake. You better be like this.
Fellas.
Y'all taking it to the extreme.
I ain't going to sleep, baby. Not until the date over with.
Y'all doing the extreme.
Right.
No, I'm serious. I would not. No, I'm dead serious. I'm serious. I would not tell any guy in particular, and we just talking about guys and girls, like, don't take a nap on date night. Because really what this says is that if you're so tired and sleepy and you know you're going out, like, that kind of sends a message that going to sleep is a little bit more important than hanging out with your lady. That's probably the way they're going to take it. And they're probably going to think you're doing something else with somebody else anyway. So the nap kind of got you in trouble twice. And a lot of dudes will be like, I fell asleep. So, but it ain't no way to explain that. You know what I'm saying? Because anything you say is not going to be able to get
It's going to be a problem. But listen, also another side of that is, if you always falling asleep when you got plans with your girl, but when you make plans with your boys and you up and you ready, we crunk, we ready, let's go turn up. You won't go to sleep on them, but you go to sleep on your gal. Yeah, that's going to be an even bigger problem.
This is true too. This is true too. Where did you hide, Ivan?
You ready to turn up with your boys?
You like Elmo? He just like.
Is this you over here hanging above the chair? This little sepia picture?
Yes, sir. That's me.
I think we're trying to change the subject.
Your picture look like look, Marlon, say cheese.
Yeah.
We're trying to pivot.
I know pivoting. Trust and believe, we still entertain this conversation. I'm just recognizing your picture back here today.
No, there's no pivot. No, sir, like, for real though. That's kind of happened to me before.
Like what happened to you before?
Like I was supposed to be like hanging out with somebody, and she was like, "Hey, I fell asleep," and it was like, and this was some years. This was a long time ago, but
long time ago.
Yeah, very long time ago. Seriously, long time. And so I was like, "Hey, this is pre-social media, you know what I mean, whatever." And I was like, "Hey, we hang, we going to the movies or something." I think it was like going to movies. And this is like 5, movie started at 7. And I called. She was like, "Okay, I'm just getting in. I'm finna get myself together." So like 6:15 or so, call back. "Hey, what time you want to meet up at the movie theater?" Making that kind of phone call, right? But no answer. So I'm like, okay. So I give it a little bit. Call back. Nothing. So I ain't call. I was like, okay. I just wait on her to call, right? So I'm sitting there, 7 o'clock passes, right? 7:15 passes. I'm like, I think I got stood up. And then like the next morning, phone rings super early, 6:30, 7 o'clock in the morning. "Oh, I'm so sorry. I apologize. I took some medicine and fell asleep because I had cramps or something like that. Like, some stuff that made me feel like bad, like because it was a feminine issue." And she said that so I wouldn't ask any more questions about it. But come to find out, she double booked herself for dates that night. And the guy that she double booked with was actually the brother of one of my homeboys.
Oh
So
no.
yeah, so it was like I didn't even say nothing to her about it until I never did say nothing to her about it.
Until
So, but
today.
at that time, no, I still ain't. No, man, no. This she probably don't even remember that. But so I was like, man, why didn't you just tell me, you was tied up or something? Like, just say, hey, I'm gonna stay. Hey, you might need to go check that movie out yourself. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I mean? So, I actually kind of learned from that experience. And if
What
people
did
want
you
to hang out
learn?
with you, well, I learned it. If they want to communicate with you, they will. Like, they'll just tell you whether it's what you want to hear or not. Right? Just say, hey, I forgot I had plans tonight. Oh, okay, cool, no problem. You know what I'm saying? But I think they think that people are gonna get crazy on them if they tell them the truth. When
In
in
most,
actuality,
in most cases, they do.
well,
Yeah.
and that's based on go back to what we just said.
This,
That's a lot of that's based on past experiences. But me, I speak for myself. I would much rather somebody just be upfront and honest and say, "Hey, I forgot I had plans tonight." Okay, cool, no problem. At least now I know, so that way I'm not waiting around and I go call somebody else.
And my night is free for me to do whatever I
Yeah,
want.
exactly. You know what I'm saying? I mean, like I said, communication oftentimes is the easiest thing to do
Yeah.
and the most difficult thing to do.
It's the most
That's all
difficult.
I'm saying.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I agree.
yeah.
Great topic.
So
I
what can we
agree.
do to improve this?
Hmm?
What can we do to make people or inspire people to communicate and just open up their mouths and talk?
You
TK.
can't make anybody do anything. I'm not sorry, I'm not TK, but I do know
Oh, go ahead. Ellen.
I have learned this and I have learned this in my professional environment that you cannot control the actions of anyone else. The only thing you can control is your actions and how you respond to those actions. But you can't control somebody else. You can't make them do anything. It's all in how it's the only thing that you have control over is yourself.
Right. I'm saying, like, yeah, I would agree with that.
I would say if I let the person know how I feel, because I'm probably gonna let you know how it made me feel. I'm that girl. I'm gonna let you know. If after I let you know a couple times, then I'm be like, he don't really give a damn about how I'm feeling, so
Yep.
maybe it's time for me to broaden my horizons. But that's just after years of experience.
Yes. Very true.
Right. Right.
I would say,
Would you say that?
I would say, in order to communicate, you have to make that the area, the environment comfortable for communication. A lot of times, in most guys' cases, you'll probably feel like that area of communication isn't allowed. Usually, the area of communication is an argument. So you view that communication equals argument. So that it needs to how should I say, be level and explain that no, this is not what it's going to lead to. We're going to actually have an actual conversation type of thing, or actually make that person comfortable and feel that that's what it's going to be. Because in most cases, the reason why guys don't want to communicate is because they feel it's going to turn into an argument. I'm just
But then
speaking.
you're
I'm just
also
speaking. I'm just speaking the honest truth about most guys. Most guys don't want to entertain certain conversations because it's like, if I even like, okay, we'll just say something. We'll just say something in simple conversations, as far as a woman saying, "Hey, baby, am I fat?"
Don't answer that.
And my point exactly. Then you know what? I cannot communicate with my woman. Then if she asks me a question, "Hey, baby, am I fat?" and I know that she has gained weight, how come I can't tell her, yeah, baby, you've gained some weight? But if he says that, I can't believe you told me that I'm fat. But do you see what I'm talking about as far as communication then? If I can't be honest with you, then you don't want communication with me then. So most men view communication, him communicating to her, as an argument. Him voicing his opinion to her, an argument. Because he's voicing his opinion in his way. A lot of times men don't voice his opinion like a girl talks to her girlfriends. He's speaking in a manly way. Hey, baby, I'm in. So usually if he doesn't say it in the correct way or form, it's equal into an argument. So a lot of times we avoid the whole conversation.
But why not work on your communicating with her the way she needs to be communicated with?
Now, I would agree. Men would need to change and upgrade that, but at the same time, what I'm saying is the making the room comfortable for him to even make his adjustments, because he's still going to have to get it out to even make his adjustments to voice his opinion. He don't know what his fuck ups is until he fuck up.
But I think you're also too bringing in things that have happened to you in the past and reactions that have happened to you in the past, and you are assuming that this is automatically how this new person is going to respond. And so you're withholding communication based off of things that have happened to you in the past with this new person.
No, I'm
speaking, and that's not fair to that person.
I'm not saying that it's fair. I'm not saying it's right or wrong. What I'm speaking on is that most men feel this way, is what I'm saying. If you're listening to what I'm saying, I'm speaking on what most men feel. You can't say, no, it's wrong to feel that way. A man is feeling this way. But at the same time, he needs to have a room to be able to voice it in order to be able to communicate. That is the whole art of communication. It's just like the art of boxing. I got to throw a blow and then be able to adjust my game once you throw it, and I got to adjust.
How do you know? How do you know how that person is going to respond? You're making an assumption that you think that they're going to respond a certain way to what you have to say, and you don't know because you've never had this conversation. You've never communicated with them in this way. So what you're doing is making an assumption that they're going to respond to this in a certain way, so you're just not even going to say it.
Okay.
I'm just saying. I'm just asking.
My answer is still going to be the same because of the simple fact
not every girl's the same. Not every lady is the same.
This is true, but he still has to. Okay, I'll put it like this: if you bring in an abused dog into your home, you bring in a pound puppy. You still have to show this dog that your movements is a welcoming movement towards him. Do you not? If you make any certain movies, he's going to get skittish. He's going to do this, that, and the other because he don't know what it is that you're trying to do. Once you are making yourself welcoming or you're making the room welcoming, he now will feel comfortable, is all I'm saying. Most men don't have that welcoming environment when they're trying to communicate with their woman.
Okay, so what do you propose that women do to make it the conversation more welcoming?
Really, actually make it a judge-free zone when you're having a conversation. Because a lot of times when you're having a conversation with the guy, he's trying to voice his opinion, he voices it, and then he's judged. Now you have an argument about something that he voiced his opinion on. So guess what? Now he's never going to have a conversation with you now. Ever.
Or
Because of that one moment in time, he tried to get something off with you by being honest, and you took it and ran with it someplace else. He was just having a conversation with you. And so from that point on, he's going to be like, you know what? I ain't even finna rap to her about that no more. It's not a welcoming zone. If you're having a conversation and you're respecting his opinion and he's respecting yours, especially if he don't say jack shit when you saying something to him. But when he say his, oh, I can't believe you. Word? Is that what we doing? I'm voicing my opinion. I didn't say nothing when you voiced yours. Where's the respect? Most cases, there's no respect when the guy is voicing his opinion in the conversation of communication. That's all I'm saying. Once it's a welcoming environment for a guy to communicate, is when you'll get a guy to be truthful. Is when you'll get a guy to speak his mind and opinion and communicating with you. Until then, y'all always gonna be like, I can't believe we always bumping heads. 9 times out of 10, it's because you ain't letting him voice what he got to get off in his head.
Do you expect a woman to be truthful out the gate?
Out the gate, if we just meeting each other, I'm
saying
really,
shoe on the other foot. What's your expectation of a woman? Is it that she be truthful, open, and honest?
I mean, I think we changed the conversation. Now, what are we talking about now?
I'm just listening.
I'm just saying, if the shoe was on the other foot, like you just gave like a bunch of reasons of why that a man needs to have a safe environment in order to be able to communicate. I'm just saying, shoe on the other foot.
Okay,
does a woman need a safe environment in order to communicate?
I would think so. I don't think guys have a problem with a woman voicing her opinion. I've never experienced that, nor have I ever been amongst my guy friends where a woman couldn't voice her opinion as far as what she felt or was feeling. Because most times, in most of my cases, most women are getting what they got to get off in a relationship. They're going to be like, I don't like this, I don't like that, blah, 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 blah. They getting that shit off. So I don't know what you mean by a guy a woman not being true, because trust and believe, she's saying what she got to get off on her head. Now, if he's listening, that's a whole other question. But she is voicing her opinion as far as how she feels in that relationship.
So why won't he listen so they don't have to keep having the same argument?
Oh my goodness.
Oh my goodness, why?
Okay. But again, I just said that, and all you got out of it was that. Why is she not listening or allowing him to be heard?
No, I'm saying you just said a woman is going to say, she's going to let you know how she's feeling.
Right.
Right or wrong.
Right.
And I'm like, so why doesn't that spark a conversation? Or why isn't he just taking it in so they don't have to keep having the same repeated argument?
Because 9 times out of 10, when she's getting that off, at any point in time, anything that he says, I put it like this, it's like being in court now. Anything that I use now will be used against me in the court of law. It's never anything that will be resolved on my end we just getting some shit off about me. In most cases.
But you're still bringing in past. You're bringing in things that have happened to you in the past into something new.
Are we speaking in general? Or are we speaking personal? That's because I thought we were speaking in general.
We are speaking in general. That's what I'm saying.
Okay, because it sounds like the direction of the question is seemed kind of like it's something on a personal end. But I'm just saying generally speaking, listening to other guys voice their, if I put it like this, and this is the issue with women not listening to men. If y'all actually listening to what I'm saying, most men are having this issue with their women not listening to them. Once they voice their opinion, they are attacked. If I voice,
I don't think every woman is attacking.
And see,
I don't think every woman is attacking a man because they are.
Did I say every woman? I said in most cases.
You said most.
I said most cases, correct?
Said most, and we trying to keep this in general, right?
I said most. Most doesn't. I didn't say all. Last I checked.
Some women are gonna appreciate the feedback. Like if I'm making you freaking.
This is my point. Y'all focused on one word out of everything that I said. Y'all focused on y'all focused on the shit that y'all don't even supposed to focus on. Instead of listening to the whole sentence.
What we're supposed to focus on.
See, I can't, and see this, and this is what I'm saying about communication. A man will give you the whole floor, won't say jack shit. But as soon as now, you've been talking for 15 minutes. When you finna be quiet? You could be talking for an hour. But a nigga could be getting his point out for 5-10 minutes, and now you have a problem with what your time is doing. Word?
I don't think.
And see,
I don't think anybody has said that.
I'm voicing what she just said. She just said you've been talking for 15 minutes.
But it was more like a rant. It was like just a rant, and I was just like.
But what I'm saying is this is the point that I'm saying as far as guys with communicating to their girl or to a woman. In most cases, they are not being heard, so they just be quiet about it because they feel like they're not going to be heard anyway.
Well, they have to take a chance and see.
Yep.
And when they do,
hold on, wait a minute. Hold up, Zach. Go ahead. I gotta stop you. TK, say that one more time.
I said they have to take a chance and communicate how they're feeling. They have to take a chance. They have to be willing.
And I agree.
So hold on. If that's the case, then ladies should have to do the same thing. That goes back to what I said before. You can't base new experiences off of bad experiences that you had before.
Exactly. Right.
But we're creatures of habit. So we kind of tend to be attracted to the same types of people we're always attracted to. It may not, I'm not just necessarily talking about physical. I'm talking about, other stuff too. But that's kind of the problem, I think, is that we kind of pick the situations ourselves and then complain about why the situations don't necessarily work all the time because of red flags. Something random happens. Oh, this is, he's doing this or she's doing this. But to TK's point, I think that not just men should try. I think women should try too. Sometimes to just kind of put it on the table, maybe, and just say, hey, what are we doing here? What is this? What's going on with whatever? And see what the response will be. You know what I'm saying? Because nobody can fake the funk forever. You know what I'm saying? Especially if you get to a certain age, you really can't fake the funk at all because you kind of, you really you really can't really hide too much or whatever.
In the
But
day of social
I
media,
mean,
no.
yeah, exactly. There you go. You know what I'm saying? So I'm glad. Actually, I'm kind of glad y'all went into that exchange because that's kind of like what we're talking about as far as communication goes. Why people don't feel comfortable communicating, but also to TK's point, why you should make yourself uncomfortable and communicate anyway. You know what I'm saying? Because like it's just like taking a medicine that doesn't taste good, right? The medicine doesn't taste good, but the faster that you take it, the quicker you feel better. You know what I'm saying? So as far as communication goes between us, men and women, the faster we communicate and say what's really on our minds, the easier the situation goes over a period of time. You know what I'm saying? So you don't even have to deal with the ghosting type of stuff. You don't have to deal with all of that. You just find out what it is up front. You know what I'm saying? And I will admit, like I'll admit, like I've been in a situation as a guy where I did not feel comfortable saying what was on my mind because I was afraid of being judged. But then there were times where I went ahead and said what was on my mind because I just felt like saying it. I think I'm at a point in my life now where I really don't care if anybody likes it. Like if a lady likes it or not, like, I don't care. You know what I'm saying? Like it doesn't matter to me because, you know, going through a divorce and all of that stuff, like I've seen the worst of the worst. So I don't care. You know what I'm saying? Like it's not being brash, but hey, this is my situation. This is what I'm dealing with. Like it or love it, cool. If not, cool too. I mean, it is what it is. So I think everybody should be like that because then the people that want to be in your space are going to be in your space because they choose to be in your space. You know what I'm saying? So there's no other stuff that has to go on with that. Like
they like you when
you know
you
what
the
I'm saying?
beast. They like you when you the beast and not the beauty.
You sir are a beast every day. So I don't even
And
know
that's what
why
I'm
you saying
saying.
beauty.
So if a person like me when I'm beast, then sure. Welcome
TK, you look
arms.
TK, you look like you want to say something.
I feel like I'm beating a dead horse. So
Beating a dead horse out. What? What do you mean?
because
I agree with what you
I
said.
just think that it's just so much easier to get it all on the table initially before.
I agree, but see you're taking what I'm saying personally. If that doesn't apply, if what I'm saying doesn't apply to you, then that shouldn't even bother you. If you're not even like that, then that doesn't. That's why I was asking: is this person? Are we speaking in general? So because that's why I'm saying because there are most men who are in relationships where they cannot voice their opinion, so they just are quiet.
They in the wrong relationship.
I agree.
I think they in the wrong relationship.
I agree, and we tell those niggas all the time, dude. Why are you even messing with this chick? Why are you even fooling with her?
If you can't be yourself, if you can't be who you are, then you're in the wrong relationship.
That go on both sides. I agree totally. So that's what I'm saying. Is like y'all are taking it personal as if I'm taking this and saying it to both of you two. No, that's why I said most guys. I didn't say all guys. I didn't say all relationships. But in the majority of the people that I see, that you even see on TV, that you even see in movies, that you even see in most guys on TV they're not able to voice their opinion in a relationship. What? They get cursed out or something. Them niggas are belittled. They are talked about. Now, we'll talk about why I don't like Blackish. How Anthony Anderson be a coon and everybody run him in the house. This is what I'm saying. He can't voice his opinion without being attacked. I can go on and name a whole bunch of shows or movies where the image of a black man in a relationship cannot voice his opinion. Y'all are acting like this is unreal or unbelievable. I've experienced it in myself several times. So a nigga would just be, again, y'all are giving me responses as if this is personal. I am speaking from a general aspect and saying that most guys, I'm not even saying that I'm in a relationship like this now. I am saying most guys are unable to voice their opinion in a relationship without being attacked. They are attacked, and which is some form of abuse. They only get to voice their opinion. Guess what? When they around they niggas. Man, this bitch getting on my nerves, dog. Man, I can't do so and so, my nigga. Man, this chick doing so this, that, and the other, my nigga. Man, she doing this, that, and the other, my nigga. He going off because he can't voice it in the house. Y'all are acting like this is unreal.
Maybe it's unreal to me because
y'all don't like it.
I've never experienced it before in my life.
So again, listen. Again, listening.
I can't give an opinion on something I ain't experienced.
Just listening.
So why don't we say this? This is why these.
Because I'm having a conversation where I'm taking myself out of the equation. I'm speaking for guys who are in these situations.
So I'll say I am glad that we're having this conversation because obviously my co-host here is very adamant about what he feels about the situation.
Because women act like this don't exist. And niggas be like, please believe me. They be out of business. Please believe me. They be out here wilding like this. Guys feel like this. Guys are in post-traumatic syndrome, and y'all acting like, why this nigga don't want to open up to me? Why? Because when he do, he gets attacked. It's like it's just like the abused dog scenario. After a while, a dog will quit doing certain things because he feels like you gonna hit him or yell at him or some shit like that.
I don't know.
No matter how nice you're to the dog, he's still gonna be like, okay. She just wanna rub me. She just wanna pet me. He's still gonna do that off the rip. So stop it, please, and acting like this is unbelievable, people. Is all I'm saying.
I would just like to say that when women give men the opportunity to communicate in their safe space, they should take it. So they don't have to go and
true.
I agree with you.
Huh?
I agree, true. I agree.
So if I come and I'm like, I mean, it could be the simplest thing. Baby,
but you have to be respectful though. Don't be saying it all disrespectful at the same time.
If I respect you, I'm gonna talk respectfully to you.
Right.
It's not until I lose respect for you that I'm gonna be like, look here, nigga, this got stuck.
Right.
Whatever. But if I like you and respect you, yeah, I'm gonna talk to you with respect.
Mm-hmm.
See, that's the other aspect.
That'd be another aspect in a relationship because most relationships are very disrespectful. That's a whole nother avenue because, again, reason why he's Ric Flair right now because most of them are mad disrespectful at the same time. So it's mad disrespect.
I mean, where are these women though? Like,
No. We're not just talking about women. We're talking about on both sides of the coin.
Yes,
on both sides. Both
sides.
It's on.
Both sides of the coin. Not that.
If you have to be disrespectful to each other, then you're in the wrong relationship. I'm gonna say it again. That ain't the person for you. It's time to let that go. Get you a new.
If you witness a disrespectful relationship on a continuous basis, then you're more conscious of your own actions.
But at the same time, we're so used to a lot of us are so used to abusive relationships that we feel like that's how relationships are supposed to go.
Maybe they do.
So in a lot of cases, it's like that's just like in some cases where you see where some women have been abused, they feel like that you don't care about them because you ain't hit them. Those occasions, it's kind of like that thing where you think that this how it's supposed to go. It ain't how it's supposed to go, but they'll have that in their mentality, is what I'm saying. So what I'm saying, there are people who are used to abuse or used to abusive style relationships, be it verbal abuse, be it physical abuse, be it mental abuse, some form of that abuse. They feel like that is how relationships are supposed to go, and it's not. Because it goes to, I was having a conversation maybe like a week or so ago about tolerating and acceptance. A lot of us are in relationships and we're tolerating people, and we haven't learned how to accept individuals. I'm not sure what happened to Ivan, but I guess he just dropped off. But in a lot of times,
Yeah, take a bathroom break.
but in a lot of
all that Coca-Cola.
the pop cola, the cola pop.
I had a Teddy Riley moment over here, so
This nigga locked up.
He done put the Teddy Riley hat on and everything.
Right. But yeah, but in most cases, it's tolerating and acceptance. Once everybody begins to start accepting an individual, like I put it like this: if it's something that you know that you cannot accept in a person, then at that point you move on from that relationship. There's no more and at that point it's a valid ghost. If we're talking about ghosting, that's a valid ghost. Like, okay, all right, you know what? That person, and usually it should be done early on in the relationship. A lot of times we tolerate it is what, and that's the difference. What I'm saying, the tolerating and accepting, we end up tolerating it when we know we don't like it. But if you stop it early on and like, you know what, I ain't with that, then you get to go ahead and go to option number 2 or 3 or whoever on down the line that you may have been thinking about dating or whatever. And tolerating it, accepting. Once you begin to accept somebody and their flaws, it's just like buying a used car. When a nigga buy a used car, he likes it as is. If he does no upgrades to it, he knows its flaws. He knows that he's gonna have to kick it twice before it starts up. He loves that junk. He rides the hubcaps off that bitch. He likes it as is. He ain't gonna be complaining about it. With how should I say this? In most other cases, everybody wants a new car, and everybody ain't a new car. Tolerating and accepting. If I'm accepting this car, I'm cool. I don't have to have no upgrades or anything like that. Is the point that I'm getting at with the tolerating and accepting.
Well, I think tolerance.
And I see TK keep rolling her eyes like, whatever, nigga. I don't know about it. I ain't accepting that, nigga. Done. And you know what? That is cool. If you feel like that, then guess what? That weeds out all the other niggas for you. Once you see all the stuff that you ain't gonna tolerate, that weeds out everybody else. So you ain't even gotta entertain them niggas anyway.
Well, you can't predict what I'm thinking because I'm a processor.
I don't know. You process with a whole lot of long side eyes, and you was like,
I was giving you your open space to communicate.
And you know what? I appreciate that, my queen. Thank you. Thank you.
Don't lean forward again, bro. Don't do that. Ellie Mae.
Yeah.
Question. So, what about this conversation is that you feel is the most important for a guy to understand from a woman's perspective?
I think from a woman's perspective, I feel like a lot of guys just want to be given a chance. They want that fresh start. I'm fresh. I'm new. I'm not the same person who you've had in your past. And they want that opportunity. I think a woman also wants the same opportunity afforded to them.
So, the question, I guess, for everybody, that was a great answer, by the way. Because truth be told, that's what everybody's really looking for. To be
I just
honest,
want you to love me for me.
I think that's what everybody. I think she hit it right on the head. I think she kind of capped off the conversation. That's what I think everybody's looking for, is somebody that is willing to start over fresh with them. Because most of what we do is just a defense mechanism anyway. Like, it's to be real. Like, most of this stuff that all of us do, it's just defense mechanisms. Like, it's just
even how we communicating right now.
it's either a wall or it's a catapult. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's some kind of, we got the guns blazing. Like, hey, don't come at me because I got this heat for you. Or we just got this wall up that we kind of peek around every now and then to see who's on the other side. And I don't think that, and especially I say this now, as far as black people go and black relationships, like, we have got to be willing to be vulnerable with each other. I think this is a pivotal time for black love in the world, in the country in particular, to be vulnerable with each other, because
I don't think we know how to be loved at the same time either, though.
Well, I mean, again, bro, like, that's a part of the process of learning how to be.
I don't think we know how to be loved at the same time, though, either.
Yeah, and I think that's something we got to be honest about, and that's a part of that conversation is being honest and saying, I don't think we know how to, because of a lot of our own experiences. You know what I mean? And when people become more honest and open about that, become more vulnerable, and then, this podcast is a safe space, in all honesty, to share those, because everybody's been able to share their thoughts and feelings about it, whether we agree to disagree. But I think this is a pivotal time for Black love, as we kind of go through these growing pains. You know what I mean? Because to me, this is what this is it's like the growing pains of getting to know each other again, getting back to queenhood and kingship, I think, and getting to learn and know one another for who we really are is going to be painful. Like, and it's going to take a collective thought process to get us to the point where we can understand each other better. And to Ellie Mae's point, like, really what folks are really just looking for is a fresh start. And I think this is a great time for that. We just got to be honest, and we got to be real, and we got to be, we have to be vulnerable. Like, we really can't walk around with chips on our shoulders anymore and expect for things to get better between us. You know what I'm saying? And
I think with that though is pretty much like this whole eruption with Black people anyway. We never really been allowed that opportunity to be vulnerable, period, anyway.
Yeah, because you can't be vulnerable in a society that supports racism. You can't be. It's impossible. And so that trickles into the household. It trickles down into relationships. It trickles into your job. It trickles into your school. It trickles into everything. Because now you're literally walking around trying to defend yourself against people who ain't gonna do nothing to you. You know what I'm saying? Because of racism. Yeah, I totally agree with that.
And then you also have those moments where a nigga get called being a bitch for opening up and telling his feelings. So, you know.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
Which I have been before. Like, no, seriously, I've been laughed at for crying in front of a woman before.
Right.
And she told her friends and they laughed about it. So imagine how I felt finding out about that. You know what I mean?
So guys have all just because you may feel like that never happens or exists. Trust and believe. Yes.
Yeah, it happens.
We experience. It happens.
Well,
It takes us a minute to get over though. True.
Yeah. Ella Mae, did you say something? I didn't hear what you said.
No, I'm good.
What you say?
Oh, I thought you asked me what I cried for.
I think she did too. I think she.
Yeah, she did.
It's personal. I don't want you to get
No,
emotional.
I don't care. I don't
want to go there.
No, I'm not gonna get emotional again. No, I was crying because she's breaking up with me. And she was breaking up with me and I couldn't figure out what I did wrong. And so I cried, and then she told her friends, and they laughed about it. And I found out through another friend that they laughed about it. It was funny to them. So
it was trauma.
Yeah. So
PTSD,
when I heard about it, I was like, wow. I was like, wow. Like, I couldn't believe it. It was actually funny at the time, you know what I mean? But I was like, now I know who I can't. Like, I'm glad I'm kind of that she went on our business because, you know, I mean, what if anything else I shared? You know what I'm saying? So, you know, then she came back and tried to apologize later, but it was too late.
Yeah.
Yeah. But hey, I think Jay's hairline is receding far and far back the later it gets.
Hold on, I'll be right back.
Almost 10.
Yeah, I think he's going to the toilet or something. His tofu that he had for dinner is probably turning over his stomach right now. Hey, thank you guys for coming on tonight and sharing your perspectives. It's been greatly appreciated to have some feminine energy on the show for a change.
Thanks for inviting us. We've been looking forward to coming back.
I think the consensus that me and Jay kind of came up with a while back was we need to on a regular basis have ladies on just to kind of give perspectives of what we talk about from a lady's perspective, just to kind of give balance to some of the conversations. So the conversation tonight kind of being about communication not just directly relationships, but communication in relationships. I think having you guys on, you ladies on tonight, kind of adds more, more detail to the conversation and helps to kind of bring a lot of those things out that we wouldn't have heard if it was just me and him talking. So thanks again for coming. Ellie Mae, are you there?
I'm here.
Oh, okay. So I was just saying thanks for being on the show tonight. Thanks for bringing your perspective. It's very important to have, the ladies hop on and let us know what y'all think. So, I definitely think that tonight's conversation is probably going to be it's probably going to be one of the most listened to podcasts, I'm assuming, just based on what we talked about tonight. I think because a lot of what we talked about is very important. Again, like at the time frame we're in Black America, Black relationships, Black love is at the centerpiece of what's going on. So I think the only way that we're going to get to where we need to be as far as the level of unity and liberation is that Black men and Black women have got to stand side by side and run with this. So, whether we do it as, in relationships, friendships, kinships, business, whatever, we definitely have to look out for each other. So, thank you all for coming on tonight.
Oh, so you're ending? Man, I didn't hear any of this part. You closing up? You're wrapping?
Well, I was, because you had to go to the bathroom and take a dump. So I just went ahead and did what the co-host usually has to do when the host is not around.
Our co-host will continue the conversation going, and then this might up here wrapping it up and everything.
I wasn't wrapping it up. Actually,
okay.
I was just thanking them for coming on the show tonight.
I definitely needed that energy, and definitely needed to get those things. I think all of that needed to be said and heard.
Absolutely, I agree. It was a golden conversation.
Also, all of that.
I think TK is drunk.
I'm not drunk. That was all I had to drink was that wine.
Hey, that's all that's needed. That was a big glass that you had too. Just because it didn't have just because it had a stem on the bottom of it, it was filled to the rim.
Not quite. I might need a bourbon after this one.
What? Okay. And see, never mind. Never mind.
Go ahead.
Can I ask you? Is it really a safe space for a guy to voice his opinion? And the only reason why I'm asking, because how you keep taking a swallow from this bottle, like all of the information is hard to swallow.
This is just water. Like I guess because I don't know the relationships I've been in. I'm big on communication. I get frustrated when the man doesn't communicate back.
And
if we can talk about everything under the sun, except when we talk about our relationship, then you shut down. Like, so then I'm frustrated.
How early on are you asking that question though?
No, I mean, this was over a course of on and off a 10-year relationship. This is real life.
Okay, I got you.
So, I mean, yeah, I can be, I can pop off in the middle. I can wake up and get mad about something in the middle of the night, and ain't nobody getting no sleep. But I try not to do that because it's like, okay, I'm not really getting my point across. So, yeah, I mean, but if you give somebody a safe space, or what you think is a safe space, or the safest space you know how to give them, and they still won't communicate with you, then I think that's what starts the argument. Because I dated a person, and I would try to talk to him, and he would just keep playing the game. And I'd be like, motherfucker, I'm trying to talk to you. Because now I'm getting heated because you ignore me because I'm trying to talk to you. So yeah, I can see in those situations where it ends up, maybe he did feel attacked. But as I've grown and matured, it's more like, hey babe, that thing you do, it just drives me crazy. I really wish you wouldn't. Or that name you call me really drives me crazy. Or like, I'm tired of walking over your funky shoes every day. Can you at least put them up?
See, why does the funky shoes have to be added into there?
That's because that's saying funky shoes instead of these motherfucking shoes that I keep tripping over.
But why does the extra have to be added?
Because it might be in my head, and if I just don't get a little bit out, then one day they might be motherfucking shoes instead of funky shoes.
Okay, all I'm saying is just know that how you communicate with him, he should be able to communicate with you the exact same way.
Yes.
Okay. I
agree.
Yeah.
The only reason why I say that is because how you just voiced that, like your funky shoes or your motherfucking shoes, this, that, and other. If he reciprocates that same language and having a conversation with you about something of yours, it's not going to be reciprocated the same. in most other cases. That's all I'm saying. Just make sure that how you communicate.
I said funky. Yeah, I'm saying funky in order to avoid saying motherfucker because
Right.
Even with that verbiage, I'm just saying how you communicate in your verbiage. Just know that person should be allowed to use the exact same verbiage when he's speaking with you.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay. Because most people don't know that or feel that way.
Even if she should just say your little shoes. Your little shoes in the way.
Oh, it's definitely little shoes all day. Little shoes, little car, little house, little watch, little money, little bank account. You got all the littles. You have all the littles.
Move your little shoes on out the way.
It's definitely the littles.
That's better than funky.
But hey, even real talk, even that is said mad disrespectful. The littles.
We've been too serious. We need some laughter.
Right. Real heavy.
Oh my goodness. Right. That be said mad disrespectful. Yo, little shoes. You like, dog.
Little funky shoes.
I just bought these Jordan 11s. Why are you hating on me?
They still little.
Hey.
We needed some laughter. So
hey, I just got this Mercedes. I don't care. I don't care about your little air conditioning blowing snowballs. Who cares about that? You like, okay. Oh boy, the littles. Oh boy.
The littles.
Hey, side note.
Funny.
While I'm laughing and thinking about it, hey, we were speaking about the reparations a couple of episodes back. Now we keep joking how 2020, the year 2020 is a Dave Chappelle episode and season. Do you remember the reparations episode and the weatherman? He was like, "Hi Chuck, this is not my speaking voice." That part?
Yeah.
Guess what day he did that on?
What day?
It was Juneteenth. He was like, "Happy Juneteenth, everyone."
I'll tell my Big Al.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So, guess what we having talks about reparations around Juneteenth? This is what I'm talking about, my nigga.
Yeah.
2020 is a Dave Chappelle episode.
Did you all see the YouTube clip that 30-minute performance he did?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah,
it was great.
That was pretty good.
Yeah, I was.
You can tell she don't. You can tell she don't follow us, Ivan. You can just tell.
Oh.
No, we didn't talk about the Dave Chappelle pod at all. I mean, his comedy special at all. I'm messing with. Hey, you know what? I'm attacking you. This is a safe space. You are not judged.
I followed the episodes that I'm a guest on.
Touche. Right.
Hey, that's truth.
Yeah, hey, that's honesty. That's real communication.
And it is a safe space. But do you hear this, sir?
He's looking in the air.
So we know who's not going to be a guest on the show again.
Oh my gosh!
Oh boy, what are we talking about?
So what?
I threw y'all off because I was.
Who are we talking about?
I was talking about Dave Chappelle.
Yeah, it was but to answer your question, yeah, I watched it. It was a very dope segment. And again, he's opening people's eyes to the simple fact who don't actually believe that this does not happen in the world.
Yeah.
Because apparently there are people who still believe that these things ain't happening in the world. He's like, hey. And how he kind of ended it was like, hey, that guy who got killed the other week, that police officer just arrested me the day before. So
Sure did,
their whole thing, how he played that is like, look, dude, hey, y'all acting like this ain't happening. That same dude arrested me. And because he knew me, he let me go.
Which episode did y'all talk about that on?
What was that? 2 episodes after what this will be, I guess.
Okay.
37 or 36. 36 or 37. Something like that. But yeah, it was a pretty dope episode.
Okay.
What else you got? Anybody else got anything? Oh, dude, I know what I wanted to bring up. We didn't talk about last podcast. I cannot wait until this movie Cracker comes out.
I haven't seen the previews for this.
You didn't see any? I sent y'all links.
You sent them links?
Well, yeah, I sent them a link.
I don't think I've seen it. I don't think I watched it.
You didn't get the link to it?
I don't think.
That nigga, he don't be checking my stuff either.
Oh, I saw it. Yeah, I did. Yeah, I saw it. It's
this
no. This is
who was in Black.
no. This is no. That's different.
Okay.
This is like. Have you all ever seen White Man's Burden?
No.
With no, the White Man's Burden was basically. It was basically, I think, John Travolta and Harry Belafonte. So basically, the situation was kind of flipped. Harry Belafonte was a well-to-do, I think, professor or something like that. John Travolta was kind of like the down on his luck kind of white guy, and they had this interaction, and it was kind of like the tables were flipped. Like the black guy was more prominent, well-known, wealthy, and the white guy was like poor. And so the movie Cracker is kind of like a play on the same premise where they switch out the black characters for the white and so forth and so on. I mean, I want to see it, but I kind of want to be able to dissect it. I really don't want to talk about it without seeing it first because I'm trying to figure out what the writer and the people that produced the movie what their aim was, because I know, I kind of saw what we did with Django, but
so it's the same folks who did Django?
No, it's not the same people. I said I know what we saw when we looked at Django, kind of what the premise of it was, but I'm trying to figure out this whole Cracker thing.
Because we were standoffish with Django.
Who wrote it? Who's writing and directing this Cracker movie?
Now that part, I don't really know yet. It's something else that's supposed to be coming out. Oh, have you been seeing this new some little preview called Tenet that's supposed to be coming out that they saying in theaters? That's gonna be coming out in theaters with Denzel Washington son.
Yeah, John David. Yeah. I saw the preview of it last week. I think I saw a preview for it.
It don't look like it's gonna be dope. It looks like it's gonna be like the Black Matrix or something.
Why are they gonna release it to a theater? Who's going to see it?
That's my thing. I'm like, y'all need to quit playing, man. Just gonna drop this joint off at Netflix. Niggas paid $3 for the movie, and everybody just watch it at the crib. Quit playing about this. Talking about going in the movie theater.
They're talking about slowly reopening the theaters here.
I would rather not.
I'm not going to the theater
at all. I do a drive-in before I do a movie theater.
Yeah, I did drive-in.
I do want to go to the drive-in. It looks like it. I just remember my first drive-in experience with TK. It was so much fun. We were kids, but we enjoyed ourselves. It was my first time ever going to the movies. It was at the drive-in.
Were y'all in a station wagon or anything like that?
Like a pickup truck.
Yeah, we was in the back. We was in the back of the truck.
I think I think that is a dope way to probably experience the drive-in for your first time. Just chilling in the back of a pickup truck, let the bed down, all of that.
I keep saying I want to go back. I want to go back to the drive-in just to see if the experience is the same.
Man, it's so much stuff that I don't know. I'm too. And see, this is me speaking about my trust issues. My trust issues about what I know of things that have happened, I have seen happen, things that go at the drive-in. I'd be so spooked to go to the drive-in. I'm like, man, I don't know about going to the drive-in.
I heard another person say that, and I never thought of the drive-in as an unsafe place.
Niggas can get touched at the drive-in. You're exposed. You don't know. The only thing that you see if you really looking at the movie, you are exposed on all fronts, and the nigga can just come up, open your car door, and boom. My trust issues keep me from experiencing a lot of things. So yeah.
Yeah, you're only the second person I've heard to say something like that.
And like I said, it has happened.
Now it's gonna be
I have heard people it has happened to. All of this, so it's like, man,
packing at the drive-in.
Maybe ruined it. Well, maybe I just have to rent it and hang me a sheet on the patio and just have my own patio movie night.
Hey, and you know what? I think, and see, that's what I'm saying. If Netflix or whomever puts it out, you purchase it for like $3. People can set up their own little movie thing at home. You can put a little thing on in your back patio, put a little projector, and you can sit there and watch the movies from out there like that. This is the day and age where people are being creative. So find a new creative way to watch a movie. Going into an enclosed space, nah, that ain't the thing to do.
I have to figure out how to keep my pet wolves away. I mean, my pet foxes away.
Foxes?
Yes.
I have the same issues. I can't tell if they're fox or raccoons.
I've got 3.
Oh, trust and believe. If it's a fox, you know it's a fox.
I got 3 foxes.
Hey guys, y'all will have to excuse me. I have to make a very important phone call, and it's about work stuff for tomorrow. And I'll talk to y'all later. No, sir, I gotta talk to this guy like right away because something not so good just happened. So,
okay,
ladies, have a good night.
You too. Take care of your business.
He's out.
Yeah, I'm out. But I will first say before I go, thank everybody for listening. Thank everybody for checking us out. We appreciate you. www.offonthetangent.com. Please check out us on Podbean, Apple Podcasts as well. And hopefully Jay gets a haircut like tomorrow morning. Okay. Have a good night.
Thank y'all for having me.
Peace out.
All right. But what, all y'all hanging up? Oh, okay. But I forgot what we were saying, but I was gonna go ahead and go on to wrap the joint up once we had got finished talking. And now I can't even remember what it was that we were saying.
Your level of paranoia and how we need to be creative.
Oh yeah, just I done forgot my whole train of thought now. I done forget. Wow.
All right.
Oh, well, yeah. All righty then. So, on that note, I guess. Go ahead.
He lost Ivan and he lost his thoughts.
Ugh, don't say that like that. Oh. Wow.
No, just saying. Y'all are mentally in sync.
Well, I mean, I'm the type of person where as soon as if I'm having a thought and I'm getting on a point and then it's interrupted, it's like, what was my point again? then you forget. So I didn't forget. I don't went off on a tangent and just forget as far as where I was going. So I'm sure once I look back at this, I'm like, oh, that's what I was trying to say. And then I'll talk about it on the next jump. But yeah. Is there anything that y'all wanted to get off before we go ahead and wrap up?
No, it was a pleasure.
And we ain't gonna hear no more from you until when?
I mean, until I'm invited again.
Right.
You have been antisocial since the last jump, but okay, we got you.
We can make this a regular.
The last
Okay,
one was in February, and then in March, what happened?
COVID.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah. I got
We
you.
just need to get on a regular schedule.
I got you. Yeah, you got you. So I
hope we can do it in person one day. That was fun.
It was fun doing it in person last time. So yeah, definitely look forward to that. So I guess since I lost my thought, I can't think of what I was wrapping up. But I enjoyed my two guests here, which is Southern Belle, TK, and Ellie Mae. I always enjoy y'all when y'all come on with the conversations and everything. I hope you didn't take anything personally.
I'm like a duck.
Mad. I'm angry.
She sound like she's fuming. She sound like she's fuming over there. So yeah, that's all I had to make sure. I hope did not offend anybody, but yeah.
I'm so angry right now.
But this is just getting point. This is all just getting points I've been saying as far as how guys feel, what guys have been through, guys' experience. Because just because you might not be that individual who has done it or anything like that, does not mean it does not exist. That's just like if a guy said, "Hey man, my girlfriend beat me," and you be like, "You're right, your girlfriend beat on you." Be like, "No, dude, she really beats on me." It's like it really happens. So again, it's just because you might not be a woman who beats on your man, there's a man out here who's really getting socked in the eye right now. So this is what I'm saying. Some man is getting hit or beat up on. So that's all I'm saying. All of this information that has been relayed out here exists.
It's true. It's true.
So, like I said, I hope I didn't offend anybody or anything like that, but it's all just to be this was, like I said, this was basically trying to welcome the safe space where you're not being judged. And just to show when a person is trying to voice their opinion, that's how it may come off. So be prepared for you can't really just react off emotions all the time, because although most guys don't even know how to relay their emotions anyway. That's the other thing. That's a whole other topic.
That's another topic. That's for next month.
Yeah. That's for a whole other topic. So yeah, definitely make
when you meet a man who communicates well, you're like, oh my gosh, we had such good conversation.
And then you don't like him.
Or they end up ghosting.
No.
Them be the dudes that'll ghost you.
The reason why she laughed, she knows exactly what I'm talking about. They got it. She like, oh my God, we talked for hours and this, then 9 times out of 10 later on, she's like, I really didn't like that nigga. He got on my nerves.
They may have some other things that may get on your nerves.
Right.
Right.
Or some other qualities that may not meet your standards.
Yeah, I'm just saying. It's nice to find. So
refreshing.
So gotta find a balance, gotta find a way to tolerate and accept all of the above. But
we'll talk about that on the next one.
Definitely, because I could be on a whole nother rant all over again. But again, I appreciate y'all for coming on. Let me go into my spiel. I appreciate the listeners. the day one listeners, A1s. Appreciate y'all. Appreciate y'all taking the time out to view us, listen to us, and listen to us voice our opinion. We really appreciate that. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap this on up. I am your host, Jason J. Will Does It. I'd like to thank these beautiful queens here, Southern Belle, TK, Ellie Mae, and we were off on a tangent. This is the Off on a Tangent podcast, and we are out. Peace.
Peace. Deuces.
Holla.
Bye.
Good old country. Bye.